So this is a significant Sky News YouGov exclusive poll because it's the first since the D-Day furore when Rishi Sunak left early last Thursday, and it's the first since the Liberal Democrat manifesto launch yesterday. You'll see why that's important. Let's have a look at the results. The Labour Party down a touch on 38%. That's the Labour Party share in this poll. The Conservatives, this is where it gets really interesting, have dropped to their lowest level, joint lowest level in this Parliament, down 1 point on 18. That puts them just 1 point ahead of Reform UK, Nigel Farage's party. Nigel Farage has been here in Ashfield today. Reform going up 1 point. The Liberal Democrats, well, they seem to have had a bit of a boost, perhaps due to the coverage of that manifesto launch. They've got up 4 points on 15%, and the Greens boosted as well, up one on 8%. But I think the single biggest thing in this poll, Jonathan, is that 1 point lead for the Conservatives over Reform UK. Rishi Sunak in his manifesto launch today, pitching to voters on the right of British politics. You saw that cap on immigration. You saw him trying to promise to bring down the size of the state if he could bring down the tax burden. But it looks as if Nigel Farage's party is creeping up on the Tories. If we get crossover, that will be a moment of significant worry for them.
Yeah, you've spent time with Nigel Farage today. He'll be buoyed by this result, despite being attacked a bit earlier.
That's right. Nigel Farage here in the constituency of Lee Anderson, the Reform UK MP. Nigel Farage trying to rubbish, as you would expect, the Conservative manifesto. He says, look, they've promised to bring down immigration, impose controls for years, really, since 2010. They've always failed. They promised to bring down tax. They've failed at that. He's essentially saying that the Tory manifesto isn't worth the paper that it's written on. He refused to say whether or not he thought Rishi Sunak was leaning to the right with his promises. Reform UK is going to release its own document. Interestingly, not going to call it a manifesto because manifesto equates with public thinking that they're lies, he said, but they will release a document of their promises on Monday. Net migration down to zero, I think being the headline one in that. Nigel Farage touring the town centre earlier, unafraid to meet with people and press the flesh, surrounded by security, even though somebody tried to attack him with concrete earlier.